好的，这是诗篇第64章的3章 getting. Hello, everyone. Today, I want to introduce Psalm 65. This is a psalm of thanksgiving written by David, filled with praise and gratitude towards God. In verses 1 to 4, David begins by praising God's greatness in Zion, emphasizing his ability to hear prayers and forgive sins. The psalmist says, "Praise awaits you, our God, in Zion. To you, our vows will be fulfilled." This expresses a heart of reverence and thankfulness. David mentions, "You who answer prayer, to you all people will come." This shows that God is the hope and redeemer for all. Verse 3 states, "When we were overwhelmed by sins, you forgave our transgressions." This highlights God's infinite forgiveness and grace. Next, in verses 5 to 8, David praises God for answering prayers with awesome deeds, showing that he is the trust of the whole earth. David describes how God formed the mountains by his power, stilled the roaring seas, and calmed the tumult of the nations. In verse 6, "You formed the mountains by your power, having armed yourself with strength." This demonstrates God's limitless power in creating the world. Verse 7 says, "Who stilled the roaring of the seas, the roaring of their waves, and the turmoil of the nations." This indicates God's control over nature and humanity. Verse 8, "The whole earth is filled with awe at your wonders." This passage displays God's majestic power, making people from the ends of the earth stand in awe. In verses 9 to 13, David depicts how God enriches the land with abundance, expressing gratitude for God's provision. The psalmist says, "You care for the land and water it. You enrich it abundantly. The streams of God are filled with water to provide the people with grain." This shows how God waters the land, making it fruitful. Verse 10 mentions, "You drench its furrows and level its ridges. You soften it with showers and bless its crops." This describes how God meticulously cares for every part of the land. You crown the year with your bounty, and your carts overflow with abundance. Here, bounty and abundance symbolize the harvest and blessings given by God. The final verses, 12 to 13, describe the rich harvest in the pastures, hills, meadows, and valleys, all filled with life and joy. The grasslands of the wilderness overflow. The hills are clothed with gladness. These verses are filled with gratitude for God's grace, painting a picture of abundant harvest and joy. In summary, Psalm 65 is a psalm full of thanksgiving and praise, showcasing God's love, majesty, and provision. It reminds us that God is our reliance, and he grants us rich grace and blessings. We should always be thankful and praise his greatness and love. Thank you, everyone. I hope this explanation helps you better understand and share the content of Psalm 65.